Happy Monday, friends. I hope you've enjoyed this bizarre weather we've been having here, trying to decide if it's hot or cold. We had a little bit of fun this weekend going out to the apple orchard with a child who loves to pick apples but does not like to eat them. Um, it made me think of a specific parable because we saw grapevine. So I'm going to share with you today from the Gospel of Matthew the parable of the workers in the vineyard. It's a familiar one, I'm sure. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the laborers for the usual daily wage, he sent them into the vineyard. When he went out at 9 o'clock, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace and said to them, "You also go into the vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again at about noon, and then at 3, and did the same. And then at 5 o'clock he went out and found others standing around. He said to them, "Why are you standing here idle all day?" And they said, "Because no one has hired us." And he said to them, "You also go into the vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his manager, "Call the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and going with the first." When those hired at 5 o'clock came, each of them received the usual daily wage. Now, when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also received the usual daily wage. And when they received it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last only worked 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat." But he replied to one of them, "Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to the last the same as I give to you. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or are you envious because I'm generous?" So the last will be first, and the first will be last. Isn't God frustratingly generous and merciful? Wouldn't you just like it that you got what you deserved? Or maybe not. Part of this beauty in this parable is the fact that we hear the story that God is free with mercy and grace and love, regardless of whether you've earned it, regardless whether you put in all the work or came to it later in life. How would you like it if you walked away from church for a long period of time in your life and you decided later on in life, after some things had happened, it's time to come back, and you were told by the church, in fact, no, there's only certain spots for people like you because you haven't been here long enough. You'd say, well, that's not what it's supposed to be like. And yet we do the same when it comes to others in their faith and others in the way that they receive God's grace. We grumble and complain because we want what someone else has. We don't want to have it be where it's an earned or a meritocracy, but we also don't want others to get what we're not. It's a tough little spot to be in. But thank God that God's grace is enough. God's mercy is enough, and God's love is enough, regardless of who we are or what we are or what we've done or where we've been or how we've believed or not. God's love surrounds us all the same, whether we come at the beginning or at the end. And that is good news. I'll talk to you soon, friends.